everyone. Welcome to Mentorship Monday. And gratitude to everyone that's joining us right now. Please let us know where you're coming in from. How's your day? How's the second day of the month, first Monday of the month? How was it for you? And are you okay where you are? Yeah, just let us know where you checking in from. How was your day? And if you're okay, be concerned. We want to know. We want to know. I will introduce myself in a bit. I'm going to wait for people to stream in. And I've got my marching orders. And so that's going to be fun. And please let me know if you can hear me clearly. If you can't hear me clearly, should I raise my voice? Is the lighting appropriate? Just let me know. All right? Let me just send the team that in. Good. All right. Welcome everyone to Mentorship Monday. Thank you to Nas and the team for inviting me today to talk to you guys. I will get into who I am and what I'm doing here on Mentorship Monday and how you can benefit. Ndomi Somashangu, bro, thank you. I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Good. Please raise your voice. Okay, cool. I'll take it an octave higher. All right. And move this closer so you can see me clearly. Right. Okay, I see people. How are you? How are you doing? Where are you coming in from? And are you okay? Are you okay? Yeah? Okay, 1801. I like starting on time. Hate being tardy. And so I'm going to introduce myself. So, like I was saying, thank you to Nas for inviting me. Thank you for the team, to the team for considering me as well. And I would like to lead with this disclaimer. This is not therapy. This is not a therapy session. I am not your therapist until you make me one. Okay? This is information purposes only. It's entertainment purposes only until we get into session. All right? Cool. So, my name is Abdul Hakeem Anderson Lesolang. I am a Motswana boy from the Northwest, from a village called Madidi. All right? I am an enthusiast of Black love. And because of that, I have written 2 books. The first book is called 200 Truths About Love. I have no idea why I don't have the other one here. So 200 Truths About Love. And In Rosewater is my second book. And they all deal with love, loving, and being loved. Right. Love, loving, and being loved right. All right. My history in therapy starts as a client. It starts as me being on the couch from as early as I can possibly remember. I started with counseling in my teenage years because of suicide ideations and all of that. And just being troubled, about what's going on in the house, what's going on with my parents, what's going on with myself, and not understanding a lot of things, not having the vocabulary to even express what my emotions were. And so my journey in therapy starts as a client, right? Having counselors, having therapists, having psychologists as well help me through my emotions. Am I a Muslim? Absolutely, I am. I was given the name Abdul Hakeem by my grandfather, and when they asked him why he gave me that name, he said, "You'll know." So I found out for everyone, and everyone. It was a bit of a tussle at first, but everyone agreed to the fact that it was helping me out a lot. Just reason through my thoughts and thinking, and exploring different dialects and different just more knowledge about self, which is what we're going to talk about a lot today. More knowledge about self and just really becoming a critical thinker more than just a follower of what I'm taught in the household. And so, yes, I am Muslim. So my journey in therapy starts as a client, and then I don't become better. because I'm a client, I am always left with questions in my head. And so I study psychology, and I, not even halfway through, I'm just like, no, it's not my thing. And so because I've read a lot about healing, I've read a lot about the mind, about neuroplasticity and neurology and how the brain works. I'm fascinated with the spiritual aspect of it, and how the spiritual aspect then, morphs into not really morphs, but it impacts and influences the way the body reacts and responds. And so I got even more interested. And so I started searching, started seeking, and that led me to being a coach, a marriage counselor, and a relationships coach, which is where the books then come out, right? The books come out from that. But the more and more I start talking to people from 2008 up until 2016, I realized that yes, the information is good. Yes, the guidance is great. Yes, absolutely. Like, people are getting gems from the sessions. People are getting enriched, and people are starting to see why it's important for habits to change. Good. But they still have to wrestle with their thoughts. They still have to wrestle with their wiring. And so I seek further, and the further seeking then becomes me getting into the world of neurolinguistics programming, getting into the world of cognitive behavioral therapy, getting into the world of hypnotherapy. Then when I get into NLP, when I start doing NLP, I've read copious amounts of books on personal development, right? I've read so much. And it just starts making sense when I'm studying to become a practitioner, to become a coach, a transformational coach. And then hypnotherapy, just all those books are talking about hypnotherapy. All those books are talking about, from the law of attraction to becoming a success, to building a business, to having influence, to being a leader, to being equitable, to having value. All of them are centered around hypnotherapists. And then you dig deeper into the authors and what they've studied themselves, and you find out, oh, okay, cool, they've done what I'm doing. And so fascinating world, fascinates the human mind and the human body are the most amazing galaxies you could ever travel if you dare, right? If you dare, and if you interest yourself in doing everything other than what you're taught, or other than what you're told, or other than what you're programmed to think about certain things. And so that's how I get into the world of therapy. And like I said, to everyone who's just joining us right now, my name is Abdul Hakeem Anderson Lesolang. People know me as Hakeem Anderson, the radio host from Touch HD when I was still on Touch HD, the author. Some people know me as Flex Boogie from my young days as a rapper, as a fledgling rapper. Some people know me as a slam poet from Pretoria and Cape Town. And some people just know me as, in the past, a clothes guy. I used to sell clothes. I used to do retail. But that's not what we're talking about today. Today we're talking about therapy and how to live a trauma-free life and make it holistic as well. All right, and I want to benefit you with as much as I possibly can today. So if you have a pen, or you have don't let anything distract you. Other than this conversation, do not let anything distract you. Lock in here. And I would like to mention, before I even go any further, I'd like to mention that you can catch previous Mentorship Monday sessions on Nozipo's channel, Nozipo's YouTube channel. It's Nozipo Chabalala. Okay, so go on the YouTube channel. When you're done with this, engage with the content. Like, comment, subscribe, share it with people that will be interested in that, or who can benefit greatly from the content that you find on her page, on my page, on anyone's page that you find value in. All right. So yes, Nduli says, former MC, what a growth. Absolutely. Absolutely. I always say my rap career was a stepping stone and preparation for everything else that I'm doing right now, because of what you go through as an artist, right? So I've got questions, but before I get into the questions, I wanna start this properly, and I want to tell you what we do in the company. So we run a company called Fola Wellness and Healing. Fola, this is one word. Fola Wellness and Healing. Fola means heal. It's a commanding word, right? It's a commanding word. You're constantly bombarded with commanding words on a daily basis. And so we want to reverse engineer it from the negative impulses, the negative commands that you're getting, that negative subliminal commands that you're getting, to the positive subliminal commands. So Fola is a commanding word that says heal, right? Heal. Fola Wellness and Healing. It's a polyclinic. It's different. It's different disciplines, different mediums, right? I'm a hypnotherapist in the company. My wife is a coach in the company, and we help people transform their lives from the way you think to the way you feel about certain things, to the way you process information, to wiring you from lack to abundance to affluence, right? So we help you throughout the whole process of transformation. We help you with your physiology. We help you with your mentality, with your emotions, with relationships. And that's what I'm coming in to say now. So the framework that we use in the company is relationships, because every single human being, is the sum total of every relationship they've ever been in. You are the sum total. You, what you think, how you feel, how you decide things, how you come to make choices, how you come to make decisions. You are, all of that is the sum total of whose you are, where you come from, who taught you how to be you. And so we focus first on your internal world. So your internal world, you know the scripture, the Bible scripture that says, as within, so without? Very true. Very true. Everything you are inside is everything the world is going to meet about you. Everything you've experienced that you never dealt with, all the emotions that you suppress and that you never process well, the world is going to meet that, or you're going to meet people who mirror what you're doing. And it's gonna be clear when I get to the next 5 sessions. But the first 5 sessions deal with your first relationship, so your internal family systems, right? So we start with inner child healing. And that is your relationship with your parents or your primary caregivers from as early as you can remember, remembering. And I know a lot of people have struggled with their childhood memories. You struggle with recounting or retelling or re-imaging what happened to you or what was happening in your childhood. And that memory block alone is a trauma response, right? And I want you to note that. I want you to note that because we're going to open that up a bit more. So your parents and your primary caregivers, the adults that you saw function in your family, who you are today, how you deal with things today, even with the rebellion against them, even with the I want to be everything not like my parents, you still are, right? And so we deal with that. Inner child healing, reconciling with the inner child, understanding what the inner child is all about, understanding the importance your inner child has in everything in your life, right? Number 2 is, session 2 will be authority. We are Black, and so we have a problem with not just Black people, but if you have color on your skin, you have an issue with authority. And so we rebel. There's an age or a period in your life or a phase in your life where you go, F it, right? F everyone, F it, I will figure out everything by myself. And so there's this rebellion against authority. And so you want to be the figure of authority in your life, but you're rebelling against authority. So you're rebelling against leaders, preachers, teachers. Teachers being, could be school, it could be the community, it could be the neighbor, it could be friends even that you have fallouts with, or it could be parents still, right? So that's that whole thing of authority. The only problem is we become adults. That's the problem. The problem is we become adults and we become figures of authority who do not want to have authority but want our authority to be respected. And so that creates a little bit of chaos inside of us. It creates a little bit of a conundrum on how do I adult? I'm certain we've all complained about adulting. Adulting is hard and adulting is this, which it isn't really. Like, you just haven't figured it out yet, or you haven't had the right kind of mentorship or the right kind of guides to help you with that. Right? I'd love to be that for you. Number 3 is your relationship with relationships. Now, if you know me, if you followed me long enough, I'm anti-mojolo. I'm anti-extramarital affairs or extramarital relationships. I'm anti them completely because a majority of the time, the bulk of the time, and the people that we deal with when you're dealing with people's trauma before you actually get loved right? And so you learn how to survive someone's unprocessed emotions and they trauma responses before you can get loved right by this person. And there's this whole savior complex that we have, this whole need to belong that we have, this whole yearning to be seen and to be loved and to be heard. But then we kind of want that from people who have never built that within themselves. They don't see themselves. They don't regard themselves the way they're supposed to. They don't love themselves the way they're supposed to, and they don't value themselves the way they're supposed to. And we want all of that to come to us. So we start looking at everything that's happened in the past, everything that's happening now, and what you actually want, which are 3 completely different universes, 3 completely different disciplines, and 3 completely different approaches to loving, and being loved. And every single thing, almost every single thing that we do in relationships is in Setswana, in Pretoria, Setswana, in Spitori, we say ke mantlwane, right? We playing house. We're playing house, and it's a complete disservice to ourselves. It's a complete disservice to the people we come from. It's a complete disservice to our future as well, right? One of my teachers from long ago said to us that relationships in the Hollywood sense, relationships in the Western world are a breeding ground for divorce. They're a breeding ground for heartbreak. They're a breeding ground for distrust between spouses, right? And to be very careful of what our intentions are going into relationships and staying in relationships where our equity, we literally rob each other of our equity and our humanness, right? And we rob the partners we're going to end up with of peace as well. And so to be very careful with that. And I took that and I ran with it, and I literally built my life around it. Did I mess up? Yes, I did. I did mess up here and there, but I figured it out. And that's what I yearn. That's what I endeavor to teach my mentees, to teach my clients, to illustrate it as well, and to help you with tactics, hacks, skills, and a way how to break through in a world. If you do want to get married, if you do want to build equity, if you do want to be a valuable person who's valued by other people as well, whether those people are new in your life or those people have, they've been in your life for a very long time. I'll teach you how to do that. And that's number 3. Number 4 is the most important relationship, but the least important relationship, and that's your relationship with yourself. And this relationship with yourself is the least important because for as long as you can possibly remember, your family or the people in your life have taught you how to put everything and everyone first, even them. They've taught you how to put everything and everyone first. And I just want you to type the answer to this question. Every single time you put yourself first, what is the one word people say to you? I would wait, but we're working on time. So I want everyone who's here to answer this question. Every single time you put yourself first, what is the one word the people in your life say you are? What's the identity they give you? It's negative. And so people relate to this. Almost everyone can get it right because almost everyone has heard this being said to them just purely by putting yourself first. And the first answer is right. Ding, 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 ding. Chrissy got it. Utologazi got it. Black Massey got it. Leader got it. Dumiso got it. Every single person who's ever put themselves first is called self-centered. It's called selfish. It's scarce. Right? You're called selfish. And there's a reason why you're called selfish. And you succumb to what that calls you to do. You succumb you succumb and you listen to them. You succumb and you meet their needs first. And so and there's a fear in that. When you do that, there's a fear in that says, if I don't change from being selfish, then I'm going to be abandoned or I'm going to be rejected by the people I value the most, right? Which is, it's a fear. It's a valid fear, but it's a nonsense fear when you've got yourself, when you've built that relationship with yourself. And so I would love to teach you to do that for yourself. The most important relationship is because when you have that relationship with yourself and when you master yourself and when you improve on yourself, you get to notice who's in your life to grow with you, or who's in your life using you for convenience, using you as a stepping stone towards what they actually want. And you might be this person to other people in your life as well. And if you are, don't feel guilty. This is not a place where you're going to be shamed or you're going to be made to feel bad. But self-correction is required in that. Self-correction is necessary for you. You know, it's necessary for you to interrogate why certain people are in your life, or why you're in certain people's lives. What is their function? What is their role? Where is this relationship going to? What value do you give, do you come with, and what value is added to you? Is it balanced or is it imbalanced? And if it's imbalanced, are you the one with the heavy load, or are they the ones with the heavy load? Gotta interrogate those things, right? And I'd love for you to do all of this before we start therapy, just so you understand what needs change, what you need transformation on, and why it's necessary in your life, right? Majority of us have locked ourselves in a prison of emotions and thoughts and experiences, and we identify with those things. And so our mind is going to look for that bias. Your reticular activation system is looking for everything to confirm what you think or what you identify with. And it's going to find it. And your mind is incredible. Your mind is possibly the most incredible organ you have after the heart. After the heart, because the heart is just, it's a whole entire world. It's a whole entire ocean of wonders and miracles that I wish the movies we watch could have taught us that. But, you know, we listening to the West tell us about being human and being great and being incredible. That's my thing with the West. It's like, no, the heart is incredible. The heart is like a mirror. You know, the mind is the factory of thoughts and the factory of realities, and the heart is a mirror that reflects those realities in abundant ways. And I would love to teach you how to reflect the most beautiful realities born of your mind without trauma, right? Number 5 is your passion and your purpose. Every single person has a purpose here. You have a purpose. There's a reason you're here now. There's a reason you are with us right now. There's a reason why you're listening to this right now. There's a reason why it's hitting the way that it's hitting. There's a reason why you're getting that emotional reaction that you're getting right here and right now. And I'd love to believe that if that's your reaction, if that's how you feel, there's a deep connection and this collective consciousness of people who resonate with the same thing. So our resonance is attuned correctly. So we are tuned correctly to be here right now, so you can hear what you're hearing right now. And your passion and your purpose could be attached to this, or it could be attached to other things that have happened today that have led you to this point right now. And I would like for you to really tune into that and carry on with what I'm asking you to do before you do therapy, before you consider changing your life, or before you do anything. This thing here right now, passion and purpose. Your majority of people who don't know what their purpose is, it could be you or it could be another person who don't know what their purpose is in life, is because they haven't done this work. Inner child healing, parental harm, overcoming parental harm, forgiving ex relationships, and having the relationship you need with yourself in order for you to have great relationships moving forward, in order for you to live life passionately, on purpose, in purpose, by purpose, right? So these are the first 5 relationships. These first 5 relationships, as I said before, echo into your world. As within, so without. As above, so below. As above, so below. Diaphragm, gut, and your private parts, feet and hands. As above, so below. Right? As within, so without. Whoever it is you are inside is going to be reflected in the people you meet, in the people you interact with, in the people you engage with, in the people you suffer, and the people who suffer you, in the people you hurt, in the people you endure, or in the people you enjoy. Who you are inside, the hidden part of you, the vulnerable part of you, the soft part of you, the harsh part of you, the negative part of you. The part of you think is a secret is going to be in the engagements you have. And you're going to meet it in different people as well. Because your reticular activation system is looking for them. It's looking for exactly who you are inside. It could be your ex, it could be your spouse, it could be your friends, it could be your work, it could be your manager, it could be you as a manager, it could be you as a boss, it could be you as an entrepreneur. Who you are in here echoes in here, it lands in the Hall of Mirrors. In the Hall of Mirrors, what is it? It's mirrors. So it reflects itself. That is attached to your desires, right? It's attached to your desires. Your desires become your choices and your decisions. Your choices and your decisions become your actions. Your actions have results. Results are the consequence. Right? When the results are the consequence, we either like the consequence or we hate it. And the consequence comes with disapproval. The consequence comes with frustration. The consequence comes with heartbreak. The consequence comes with disrespect. The consequence comes with the loss of virtue, the loss of honor, the loss of money, the loss of work, the loss of equity, the loss of you. First 5. Very important. If you're going to do therapy, if you are in therapy, ask for these first 5 relationships. Inner child healing, overcoming parental harm, forgiving your exes, and 99.99999% of forgiveness is letting it go. Letting it go. A lot of us say we've forgiven our exes or our partners or people who've hurt us. We say we've forgiven our parents. We say we've forgiven friends and exes. We've forgiven bosses. But what they've done or how they failed us or how we failed ourselves by choosing them becomes a wound that we carry and that we build our identity around, right? So you didn't let it go. Majority of us then create distance between us and the people who hurt us, but you only created distance. You ever asked the person, hey, where have you been? I haven't seen you in a long time. Oh, for me, I've been healing. But a month later, they with a man or a woman who resembles the ex that they've been healing from. Majority of us create distance between us and the people who hurt us, and we think that's forgiveness. We think that's healing. We think that's letting go. No, it isn't. Immediately as you see that person, you get triggered. And what do we do as young Africans, as young people in the diaspora? What do we do when we get triggered? We go drink, we go party, we call friends, we get into relationships, we numb, and we avoid, and we distract, and we run, and we hide, and we dilly-dally. We dilly-dally when we get married. We get married. I was just talking to my wife about, we get married. And we hope this person is going to take this burden or this heaviness or this weight or this thing that I can't figure out, and they'll figure it out for me. That's what we do. These first 5 relationships, forget inner child, parents, exes, relationships, Mojolo, the pandemic, the panini. 4, your relationship with yourself. 5, your passion and your purpose, which will hardly ever reveal itself because your mind doesn't trust your heart, and your heart doesn't trust your nervous system, and your nervous system doesn't trust your choices, and your choices don't trust the result of the actions you take. When I get to this, people cry. People are heartbroken. People are like, yeah, my God, like, I don't want to speak. Triggered, and then we avoid. We run away. We hide. We dispel. And we say, Hakeem thinks he knows. You're violent. I'm not violent. You're the one violating yourself. You've just never heard someone who sees you tell you that, right? So first 5, if you're in therapy already, if you are, for some reason or some movie that you saw, are afraid of hypnotherapy or hypnosis or self-mastery, if you're so afraid of self-mastery, just please ask your therapist for these first 5 sessions, because this is the doorway to healing. This is the doorway to self-mastery. It's not self-mastery, it's the doorway. It's not healing, it is the doorway, right? It is the doorway. How do we heal? First 5, gotta press on. Gotta determine yourself. Gotta discipline yourself with going through the first 5, regardless of what comes up. Regardless of what, now your mind is trusting your heart, and your heart is trusting your nervous system, and your nervous system isn't in shock anymore. You don't have anxiety anymore. You're not functioning from lack anymore. You're not using the past as a reference point for what decisions you need to make to move forward. You're not doing that anymore, right? You're living, you're a bit more purposeful. You're a lot aware. who's in your life, how people talk, how people treat you, how you manipulate things, and you have these urges. You're not running away from yourself. You're dealing with yourself with discipline. This is you. This is us. This is where we are with these first 5 relationships. But you're past 25, 30, 35, 40, right? I'm 42, right? And you start to notice when you're on this journey that for 40 years, for 35 years, for 25 years, I've been living as a person who's never done these first 5 sessions. I have taught my world that I am this person. I am this chaos. I am this indecision. I'm this person who flip-flops his life. And so we are unhappy with the way the world treats us. And so we become victims. We attribute victimhood to ourselves and function as victims because we cannot cope. We cannot function. We haven't reached a stage of maturity where adulting is fun. It's a joy. Where your mistakes are beautiful, where you learn from them, where you want to make a mistake. You want to learn. You want to actually be corrected. You want to be guided. Right? But this isn't you yet. And you realize once you've done this, and this is you now, and you're not functioning off the fear of the past repeating itself because you're not doing the same things you used to do. You love yourself a bit more. You prioritize yourself a lot more. You've invested in yourself a lot more, and you're seeing that ROI. Now you have to go deal with your world, right? And we adults, so we working now. We adults, so we getting money now, but we don't know, we don't really see growth, and we want to succeed. So cool. Work. Do you have a success plan? And are you succeeding with the success plan? Do you have goals? And are you meeting them? Or not? Or are you working for, and I hate this word, are you working for black tax? Are you working to just pay bills? Are you working to get by? Are you in survival, but you're working hard? Regardless of what promotion you get, are you still in survival mode? Right? So we have to work on that. Cool. Number 7 is the imposter syndrome. And there's a reframe that I wrote, and I wish I'd flipped to that page so I can teach you the reframe now. And if you want the reframe, please ask me for it. Just jump in my DMs and ask me for it. Right? The imposter syndrome comes in 5 ways, in 5 things that are prevalent in young professionals, in young adults, in young parents, in young lovers, in young entrepreneurs. And it comes in the form of self-sabotage. So the things you say about yourself burn opportunities away from you more than the things you do. Right? The things you say about yourself. Have you ever sat with an incredible person or an investor or someone you want in your life? It could be a potential lover. And then you open your mouth and you never heard anything from them ever again. What we do when we talk about ourselves is, I call it the nyana syndrome. We nyana ourselves, we belittle ourselves, and we talk negatively about ourselves. Because in the past, when we talk negatively about ourselves before we do these first 5 sessions, is we've gotten pity from people, and pity feels good. Pity makes, people are like, oh, but don't say that about yourself. Friend, you're so amazing, you're incredible. And we are addicted to that. So even in situations where we don't have to feel pity for ourselves, we still pity ourselves. And we speak like that, we sound like that. And it's very thin, it's very succinct. It's very succinct how we do that, right? Self-sabotage. Number 2 is procrastination. How you spend your time, where you spend your time, and why you spend it like that. What are the impulses? If you're on my TikTok, you've probably seen a video where I talk about procrastination, or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5, where I talk about procrastination and, workarounds when it comes to it, right? Procrastination comes from this first relationship, your relationship with your parents, and work. What was done or said or taught or instructed, and how you were wired when it comes to work results and productivity, right? Procrastination. Number 3 is perfectionism. It has to be done right, or I have to have X amount of money, or I have to have this person, or I have to have this. It needs to look neat, or I'm not good enough. I'm not worthy of, or I'm not, you disqualify yourself, right? And then there's qualify. You disqualify yourself, but then you use qualifiers as well. Qualifiers are, I need to get a degree in order for me to be and have. I need to have money in order for me to see. I need to live in this house, and I need to drive this car in order for me to get the right type of partner, right type of friends, right type of lover. No. You think like that because you don't have a relationship with yourself. You reason like that because you haven't mastered your relationship with yourself. You don't know what your value is, right? So it builds the imposter syndrome. So like the imposter syndrome then leads to poverty mindedness. And poverty mindedness, please take your pen out, or please replay this, please share this, please pin this, please mark this, please type it out as I'm saying this, because these are the 4 things I want you to look at. Poverty mindedness is a product of the imposter syndrome. And this is how you see it. 4 things. 1, time and how you spend it. I don't know if you've ever been taught or told or shown, but time and health are the only true forms of wealth. Time, health, and land are the only true forms of wealth. The only true, real forms of wealth. If your health gets taken away from you, you don't have time for anything else but to heal and be better. Right? So time and how you spend it, very important. And I need you to really look at, how do I spend my time? Who do I spend my time with? That's number 2, friends. If you've had friends for the last 5 years and none of you has ever figured out this healing thing, none of you has ever figured out how to be a millionaire and aren't a millionaire yet. If you haven't, these 2 things, how to heal and how to be healed and how to have a holistic life, how to live a holistic life. And none of you has ever figured out how to be a millionaire and are active in being that or living that life or embodying that. You might have trauma bonds and not friendships. You might have misery comrades. You might have crutches that you're holding on to. And I want you to investigate that. As much as you love them and as much as they love you, really be honest with yourself about what value and what equity, where are you going with these people? And if you can't see them 5 years from now, they shouldn't be in your today. They shouldn't be in the calls, they shouldn't be in the text, they shouldn't, even your lover. Even your lover. Family is a bit different, and we'll talk about that in session 1 and 2. Family is a bit different. But friends, because friends are your circle of influence. Anyone who has influence over you, anyone that confides in you their opinion or they priority and leads with that and invites you to partake in their lives like that, they have influence over your decision making. And if the influence over your decision making hasn't led you to a holistic life, a healed life, a trauma-free life, there's only one other thing that it leads you to. There's only one. There's no gray area there. There's no fence there. There's only one other thing that it leads you to, and that's a traumatized or re-traumatizing of your old traumas and your old wounds. It's just this constant reopening of your old wounds over and over and over again, and you're not moving anywhere but revisiting the same things. And if 92 to 95% of the thoughts you think today are thoughts you thought yesterday, that created yesterday in today, that created the past in today. So if you're not around influence that teaches you to think better, to feel better, to look at things better, to reason better, to critically assess things better, you're thinking the same thoughts you thought yesterday and are repeating yesterday in today. That means tomorrow is going to be the same as today. Because there isn't any training, there isn't any plasticity and stretching of your mind. There isn't any stretching. Especially, we'll talk about family. What if you don't have opportunities to advance in life? You are poverty stricken. You have everything. If you're on this live right now, you have data. You have every single thing you need right now to get you where you need to go, bro. Trust me, I was exactly where you are. I'm a village boy. I'm a village boy. If I were to show you guys where I come from, and a lot of us come from areas like that, and I were to show you how far I've come, in less than 10 years, my whole entire life changed. In less than 1 year, my whole entire life changed. And we'll get to that, right? But we're working on time, and I want to answer questions. So 2 is time and how you spend it. No friends, and these are the people that your circle of influence. So be very careful of the circle of influence you have. Ndoli, jump in my DMs. I'll give you a few things that you can do. You know what I mean? If you're poverty stricken, like you're not struck by poverty. Poverty is a mindset, just like wealth is. It's how you think about yourself. You see, if you're saying that about yourself. So how many times have you said that? How many times have you thought that? How many times have you repeated that? How many people in your life think like that? Right? How many people you engage with? How many of your friends think like that? Say that, repeat it over and over and over and over again. It's brain training. You're training your brain to think like that. You're training your tongue to spew things like that. You don't have control over the one thing you need to have control over. Right? And I want to teach you how to do that. Cool. Number 3 on that list is your calendar. If you have goals, if you have dreams, if you have ambitions, but your calendar is empty, there's nothing pulling you into the reality of your dreams. If you want to do better and you know someone who can teach you to do better, start engaging with that person. Put them on a calendar. Buy them flowers. Buy them a coffee. They like something, go research a little bit more about that thing and tell them about it. Hey, do you know about this thing? Build relationships with people, right? Have a mentor, have a coach, have a therapist, have a guide in your life. Have a guide in your life. Have people that have gone through what you're going through and they succeeded, and have people that are living the kind of life you want to live and are successful in it. That's in everything. That's money, that's work, that's kids, that's a wife or a husband, that's marriage, that's friends, that's a network, that's eventing, that is sex. Sex, that's lifestyle. Have people in your life that are living the life you want to live, because it just the learning curve or the growth curve, instead of it being like this, it's just because people that are successful, and if you disagree with this, I want you to think about what you consider to be a successful person and how many of them you're engaging with. People that are successful want people that want to be successful, and they're willing to do anything and everything to help them get there faster. But that comes with the work of changing your habits. So 3, your calendar, mentor, coach, sessions. Invest in yourself. Read a book. Dedicate time. Put things on your calendar. Get into the habit of putting things on your calendar so much that you don't have time for anything less or anything lack. You don't have time for anything less or anything lack, because your calendar is full of things that are pulling you into the reality of your dreams. Yeah? Number 4 is your bank account. If the commas and zeros in your bank account aren't satisfactory, look at the first 3 things that I mentioned. That is your time and how you spend it, your friends and how you spend your time with your friends, and how much influence they have over your thinking and your feelings and your actions and your responses as well. Number 3 is your calendar. Mentors, coaches, therapists, and guides. You need those people in your life. Have books. You're right, Kumesa. Do not be attracted to anything less than where you've been, or less than where you are, or less than what you have, or else it'll lead you into lack. Again, you'll repeat the same things, or you'll repeat the same experiences, or you'll go to the same places, love the same person you've passed through before. We're not into that. We want to grow. We want to be great in our lives. We want to be great, and we don't want to cheat. The system has rules. Use the rules. Okay? Use the rules. Learn the rules. Master the rules. Succeed with the rules. Right? Master yourself. Master your mind. Master your heart. Master your actions. Master your private parts. Right? That's number 8. That's session 8. Poverty-mindedness. Unwiring from poverty-mindedness starts with these actions. Please look at these 4 things. Start working on them before you even call me and say, hey, I want to change my life. Hey, I want to improve. Hey, I want to do better. To start doing that. Start doing that work now. Number 9 is a victor's mindset. Right? A victor's mindset is the opposite of a lack mindset or poverty-mindedness. Right? It is abundance. It's the embodiment of wealth and the embodiment of abundance. Right? Embodiment of wealth comes with money. And when we get to this point, you will not be worried about money at all. Because I got you. Because I got you. If you get to this part, when you get to this part, you'll know why I became what I became that quickly. There's still people in my life right now that are like, what happened? Because you were this person. You're this dusty guy. You've changed. What is this? What happened? You know? Anyway, so Victor's mindset. Abundance, embodiment. Wealth, embodiment. Right? Man, when you get here, like, we good. I can let you go and, you can live your life. Number 10 is a winner's diet, meaning everywhere you are right now and everywhere you've been, you can't go back to that. Your body would rather be sick. Your body would rather shut down. Your body would rather have you stop and pause so you can reevaluate your thoughts and thinking. And pauses. If you're in a place and space in your life right now where things aren't going right, or things look good on paper but you're not fulfilled and you're not happy, it's the perfect place. It is the perfect place. Downtime is prep time. Downtime is the perfect upset for success. Downtime is the perfect upset in your life. Like everything is just down. You're down. This is where this comes in. Not alcohol, not wine, not a trip. No. This is where you happen to yourself. This is where you do the work. This is where you establish. This is where you build. This is where you reforge, reformulate, refine the design, and refine and redesign the design. If the design didn't work, it didn't work 100%, at least it worked 20. You don't have to do 100% anymore. Now you just got to focus on 80. But if you're down and out right now, be happy. Be happy that God set your bum down. Be happy that life set you down. Be happy that you lost the person that you lost. Be happy that they lost you. Be happy, be proud of that, because now you get to reimagine life in the most profound and amazing way. And I promise you, if you do that for yourself, things are going to change exponentially. For you, not for anybody else. For you, not for glory. For you, not to be seen. For you, not for other people's perspectives. For you. All right? Downtime is prep time. Okay? Gotta move on. Okay, I gotta answer questions. So 10, we do all our sessions online. Every session is an hour long. And I always lie when I say that, because majority of the time your sessions will continue for an hour and 30 minutes to 2 hours. And I don't mind, because you get to see the transformation happen in session, and you get to go engage with your life from a different perspective completely, right? So every session is an hour long. You have homework, because therapy only works when you work the therapy in your life. I don't know if your therapist has told you that before. Therapy only works when you work the therapy in your life. Yes, you're going to have transformations in our sessions, in the follow sessions. You're definitely going to have transformation. You're going to see it. You're going to feel it. You're going to embody it. Absolutely. Every single session, that's going to happen. But you have to do the work in your life to change your life. You understand? You have to do the external work just as much as you're doing the internal work. Yeah? I can only teach you what I can teach you, but you need to apply those things in your life. Yeah? How do you sign up for a session? Just jump into the link in my bio, Hakeem Anderson. Link is in my bio, so you're going to get that, right? So, an hour long, I always love. You have homework, and there's a big red sticker. There's a big warning before you do hypnotherapy. Big warning. It's not the warning you're thinking about. It's not mind control. It's not none of that. But the big warning is you really will feel the transformation. You'll see the transformation. It happens. It happens, right? But it happening means that the people in your life are going to see the shift. They're going to feel the shift. They're going to be threatened, because you're now meddling with what they're used to and what they know and what they're familiar with. What happens when someone switches things up in your life? You start to feel jittery. It's going to happen with them as well. So that's the big red warning sticker that I'm giving you right now. You want transformation? It's going to happen. Is it rapid? Yes. It's rapid. Yes. Majority of people in your life are there for convenience. And the convenience is you're easily manipulatable. I know that's not an English word. You're easily manipulatable. They can manipulate you. They can say things, and then you're going to return right back to the way they want you, or the way they want you to behave. So when you meddle with that, when you mess around with that, and you start standing on your own 2 feet, you start loving your own voice, you're not thinking with your mother's voice from, or that granny there that pinched you when you were crying, You're not thinking with that voice anymore. You're thinking with your own voice, and you love it. You love your opinions, and you trust yourself now. Your nervous system isn't jittery. You're not anxious. You're not depressed. You actually love life. They're going to feel it. And guess what? That's where boundaries come in, right? And I'll teach you how to do that. I'll teach you how to build very healthy boundaries. That's where boundaries come in. But once you start building boundaries, there's going to be pushback. And when there's pushback, you have to do it in a healthy way. You have to respond to the pushback in a healthy way. Because if you respond from an adversarial point of view, there's no growth that you're doing. You're only going to return back to your old ways. So I want to teach you how to do that. That's the big red warning sticker. You want change, it's going to happen. You want money, it's going to happen. You want a healthy relationship, it's going to happen. But what if you're already in a relationship and you've been functioning the way you've been functioning and people have been getting away with murder? And you start changing. How do you react then? I got you. I'm a coach and a therapist, so it works out for you. And that's about that. So I got questions that I want to answer. If you want to sign up, if you want to follow me at Hakeem, ANDRSN, Hakeem, HAKEEM, ANDRSN. Write that down so you can follow me after this. Kenzie asked the question, what inspired you to become a hypnotherapist specializing in trauma healing? What inspired me to be a hypnotherapist is that I was looking for a solution that actually works. I was looking for therapy that actually works. Therapy that understands my context. Therapy from a Black person, therapy from a person who understands the mind and how the mind influences the heart and how the heart responds and, messes with your actions or, informs your actions to be better. Specializing in trauma healing. Every single thing. Let's take South Africa or Africa. We just look at our history as people of color. Everywhere people of color are. Look at our history. Every single bad, terrible, nasty, setbacky thing that happens to us is because of trauma. Gender-based violence, trauma. Poverty, trauma. Over-reliance on politicians, trauma. Faith, religious trauma, sexual trauma, emotional trauma, psychological trauma, you know what I mean? Verbal trauma. We all struggling with it. All of us. It messed us around. And so if you come into my life, this is the challenge that I was facing. Just go back to the beginning when I opened up. This is the challenge that I was facing when I was doing marriage counseling. Is we'll counsel couples and they'll do well. The wedding happens and 6 months down the line, a year down the line, even after talking to them every month or every week or every 2 weeks, even after talking to them, even after helping them, improve or master communication, even after that, right? They'll still go back to what is familiar to them. And what's familiar to them is everything that was modeled to them when they were young in chaotic homes. All the emotional responses, all the reactions are a mirror of how their parents or how their elders used to respond. That's what was modeled to us. Trauma. You know what I mean? We come from generations on generations on generations of trauma that was never dealt with. And so trauma for me became a reason, it became a reason to focus on that and master that and lead with that in the Black community. Right? And it happens, we do corporates and we do hospitals and we do addictions and we help people and they overcome things. Obzino says, I got into a car crash last year and now I struggle to fly. This after years of flying. Will hypnotherapy help? I got you, bro. It will. Couple, 2-3 sessions, you start seeing a difference and you persist with that and it's going to help you out a lot. I promise you. Gia says, I'm intrigued by the transformative retreats and wellness workshops you offer. Can you describe what participants typically gain from these experiences and how they contribute to healing from trauma? Transformations happen in various ways. So it could be in the exercises that you do. It could be in the one-on-ones that we do. It could be in the white glove services that we offer. It could be in, the Saturdays Winners Club calls that we do with our mentees, with the people who participate in our programs as well. We've built a community of people that have done age regression therapy with us, have done, follow sessions with us. And because healing is lonely, guys. I won't lie to you. It's alienating. When you start standing for yourself in a community of people who rely on everyone else, who pretend success, who chase thrills, who numb, who avoid, who distract, and who are distracted and are destructive, when you start being anti those things and when you do it in a healthy way and you do it in a holistic way, you become a weirdo. And so we built a community of people that don't want to feel like weirdos anymore. And so the transformations that happen there, the healing from the trauma that happens there, the retelling and the recounting of the changes that people are seeing, your self-awareness improving is part of what you can expect in the Fola mentorships, in the Fola programs as well, in the one-on-one sessions too. Chrissy Curley, moving on to the next question, says, you mentioned the importance of self-care. Can you recommend specific self-care practices that can complement the process of healing from trauma? Chrissy, listen to this whole call. Listen to this whole call. I promise you, you're going to find gems on gems on gems on gems in regards to self-care. All right. We need to have an honest and realistic conversation about poverty in this country, not now or today, but Black people are in dire need. Let's address that. Absolutely. We absolutely... We know where we are. It shouldn't be a conversation. It should be a change of actions. It should be a change of responses. It should be a change of demeanor. It should be an embodiment. It should be a repelling of the embodiment of poverty. Poverty thoughts, poverty feelings, poverty music. Music in this country alone is programming us to only revolve around things that steep us deeper into poverty, to steep us deeper into brokenness which is another reason I left music completely, because I'm like, why do I want better for people, but I'm adding to the problems that people are facing. I'm programming people to face these problems over and over and over again. I'm helping them repeat the same things they're suffering from. And I'm supposedly trying to help you with my music. We need an overhaul of actions, an overhaul of thought, an overhaul of emotions, but it starts with individuals. It's not a collective thing. Healing the world is not a collective. It's not a collective thing. It isn't. It starts with the individuals. So, Nduli, it starts with you. It starts with you, bro. It's not gonna come. It's not. There's no in rap, in music, in music culture. There's this ideology that someone is going to notice me and they're going to help me blow up. This is our nature as Black people. We're waiting for a Messiah. We're waiting for Jesus to come and pull us out of our misery. His job is done. His job is done. He's done. He gave you a blueprint. He gave you a way out. He gave you a copious amount of reasons for you to change your life. Done. We've talked enough. Especially in this country, we've talked enough talking. Let's do the solution. Let's focus on solutions and act them out and live them out as a people. You know what I mean? No, enough conversations, guys. Enough. We know what's wrong. We know what's wrong. You know what I'm saying? This is really being challenging and valuable. I got you. I aim to challenge every single thing you believe about every single thing you believe. And I hope the response isn't, an averseness or like avoiding doing the work. I hope the response is putting your boots on and lacing tight, reading a book and changing your perspective about things. You touched on problems with authority a bit more on that, please. Thank you for this powerful session. Unfortunately, we're running out of time, guys. And I want to respect the platform. But definitely we'll touch more on that. How do you have a relationship with yourself? What must you do, or how do you start? Jump into my DMs. I can give you pointers free. You know what I mean? Chuno says, I'd love to hear a success story from your practice. Can you share an example of how hypnotherapy helped someone overcome a traumatic event? Please go onto my profile. I'm going to load more testimonials as well. And if you're my client and you're here, guys, you see, they want testimonials. I'm not just telling you to, send them testimonials out. They want testimonials. So do the thing. You know what I mean? Okushe says, you work with clients with from different continents. Do you find that the experience of trauma is universal, or are there cultural differences in how people approach and heal from traumatic experiences? Trauma is trauma is trauma. Trauma is trauma is trauma. So every race is suffering from some form of trauma. Every person is suffering from some form of trauma. And hypnotherapy is the one type of therapy that I've seen help people heal, overcome, and actually change their lives for the better, which is why I'm a practitioner, which is why I will, this is the hill I'm willing to die on. You know what I mean? This is the hill I'm willing to die on. And because it's what's taught in esoteric healing practices, I'm home, baby. You know what I mean? Contrarian client here, and yes, it. Hi, contrarian client. Umbahumi is a client, guys. It works. So there, you know. Gwanda says, if you could use hypnotherapy to change one thing about the world today, what would it be and why? I would use hypnotherapy to not necessarily change, but show people how beautiful it is to actually fall in love with themselves. You're one of one, dude. You're one of one. You are one of one. Like, even if you have a twin, you're one of one. Even if you come from a household with many siblings, you are one of one. Even if you do the same job as someone else, you are one of one. And he took time crafting you and creating you and making you special. And I wish for you to fall in love with yourself so much that that's the only thing you live. That's the only thing you see. That's the only thing you reason from. That's the only viewpoint. Relationships, marriages, parenting, money, success, joy would be better if we fell in love with ourselves and not make it pretend and not make it a spa day and not make it white robes and not make it like vineyards. Not pretend for people to like our pictures or our videos or to think that we're something that we're not. You know what I mean? Like self-love. Loving yourself deeply and beautifully and meaning what Maya Angelou said when she said, I belong to myself and I belong to myself fully. That's a God principle, to belong to yourself, because when you belong to yourself, you know exactly what he is. You know exactly what he is. And I don't know anything. I don't know any therapy. I don't know any pill. I don't know any focus. I don't know any wellness focus, yoga, Pilates, breathology. I don't know anything that can help you with that but hypnotherapy, you know? And I'm not just saying that to, garner you as a client. I'm not. You can go to another hypnotherapist and they can help you out with that. You know what I mean? I just know that what we focus on is contextual to us. It's just contextual to us. So I love you guys. I appreciate you. I really, really, really value you being here. I value your presence. I value your life. And I hope that when our paths meet, you've at least experienced anything that I've spoken about, or you've done that work. And so we don't start from zero. You know what I mean? I turn clients away who haven't done the self-correction or who haven't done the 4 things that I've guided you with when it comes to poverty-mindedness. You know what I mean? Day says, I was traumatized by how my dad left my mom. He was a pastor and left my mom to stay with a girlfriend next door. From that moment, I have never been able to trust a man or believe that true love exists. Can you help? Absolutely. Absolutely, I can. You know what I mean? Talk to me. Jump into the DMs, jump into like a book a session or like just even a conversation if you want to. Let's talk about how you can approach that whole thing, how you can trust yourself more. We'll take it from there. People, how do I stop blaming other people for my sense of stuckness? That's Lauren. How do I recondition my mind to start believing that I'm not my past? I'm going to send answers to both these questions in the group, and you guys will get it there. Please do save the live. People need it. Thank you, Nozi and Hakeem. Shukran. Jazakallah khair. Thank you guys so much. I love you and I appreciate you. So enjoy. This is me. My name is Abdul Hakeem Anderson Lesolang. I'm a father of 3 beautiful girls and the most gorgeous, amazing woman I've ever met in my life. Completely floored by her. She's amazing. Thank you, Umbahumi. I appreciate you. Thank you, guys. I love you.